Alright, good morning guys. Today's job, we need to get the transition strip put in between the kitchen and the den area here in the back of the house. We need to do something cool. I don't want to just take a strip of, wooden transition strip and lay it in there. It's really not in keeping with the ultra modern sort of look of the house. Okay, so let's pull her in close and I'll give you a look. Yeah, I got my wild work clothes on today, right down to my beautiful shoes. But here's where we're talking about the transition between the kitchen and the den area. And generally it's about 4.5 inches wide here, and it's about 44.5 inches long. So what we need to do, we need to clean up this box in here and make sure she's square down the sides. We need to put down some new backer paper down here, some of the moisture barrier paper, and we got plenty of that. We want to cut that in. We want to put a piece of exterior plywood in here. Then we want to put our retaining walls, our metal retaining strips on the side. Then lay our tile in there, and it's going to give us a real good effect. Okay, but the first thing we need to do, and most people might use a wooden transition strip or something like that. I don't. I want something fancier in here. So the first thing we want to do is remove these two wooden strips from the flooring here. The hardwood flooring, and we want to try to get them up carefully because we want to save these, because these could be useful if we have another part of the floor that ever gets damaged. We have some original wood to put in there. So alright, that's the job that we have to do today. So let's get cracking on it and stick with the Rosie girl. Okay guys, we got the first two pieces out without incident, and they're going to be good items to keep safe in the garage there for replacement. But you can see now we have a pretty uniform size rectangle here, about 4.5 inches by 44. So what we want to do now, this is actually grout that came down into the side here, down the box. So we want to clean it up so it's nice and square and clean like that on both sides. Then we can lay in our vapor barrier here, and then we can put down our exterior grade plywood, which will take the mastic well, and we'll have our channel pieces here, which is a nice finished detail. Okay, so let's get her cleaned up. Okay, well, you can see now we got her cleaned out real good in the box, and we got her very uniform. What we want to do now is we want to be very careful, but on this edge down here, we want to make sure that she's cleaned up and 90 degrees to the floor, or else our channel won't sit properly there. And we need to be very careful when using the cold chisel there, because these porcelain tiles are brittle, and what we don't want to do is crack a porcelain tile today for sure. Okay, so we want to be very careful about cleaning and squaring that channel up, and then we'll lay in our moisture barrier and get our plywood down. Okay boys, let's get a progress update here. We got her cleaned out good. We got her squared up the edge where the tile is, that being the critical edge out there. So we're straight down. We don't have much of a gap. We don't want it straight up. We want the floor to expand and contract without causing any problems. The deal was also that the tile back here was 1/4 inch higher than the floor in the den area here. In other words, the kitchen floor is 1/4 inch. If you were to look at it on the side, 1/4 inch higher. So what I usually do when I have these situations is use tapered wedges along here, like shims and things like that, and I lay the shims in this way, and that allows the back edge to rise up here, and still gives it plenty of support beneath it for the tile to be on. And I've always had great success with that, and it keeps it very, very stable. Okay, Some people like to lay a plywood strip in the back, but that still allows for some bending in the middle, and over time that tile will work loose. We have our exterior plywood down there, and all we're doing now is fitting in our band here, which is a nice finished detail, and it matches the tile nicely on that side. And we'll fit the other one in, and we'll be able to get our mastic down and get our tile set today. Okay? Okay guys, we rough fit the tile in there just to check her and check her good. And I think you'll agree that gives a really beautiful finished detail and transition between the two rooms, sticking with the earthen tones over here and these glass mosaics. Now the important things are, sure, it looks great and everything, but it has no trip hazard on this side now. And the transition slopes nicely down to the other side where there's no slip or trip potential there either. So, okay, all that remains to do now is we'll get the mastic out, we'll get these tiles set, and we'll get on with our day. Alright, thanks guys. Alright guys, we started about 9 o'clock and it's now 10:45. I guess the old saying, if you know what you're doing, you know, you get her done quick. Otherwise, you mess around with it all day. I've got the mastic down. I got the tile adhesive down. And she's setting in a good bed of that. Don't lay that stuff on thick when you're doing a tile setting. It's an adhesive. It's not a, you know, it's not a grout. It's not a mortar, okay? It's called thin set. You put a nice coat on. The metal sides underneath of the trim pieces are going to hold that stuff like cement in there, and it's going to be hard as a rock. Don't wiggle the tile. Don't press it down. Just set it good. Leave it alone. Make sure if you have any mastic that may be popping up between tiles, just clean it out a little bit. You want to have room for your for the grout to take in there, and that's a key thing. A lot of people I've seen, they'll do the mastic and they'll lay it on so thick when it comes time to do the grouting, there's no space for the grout to go between the tiles because they've laid that mastic on so thick, and then they got a real problem. Okay, then they either got to just switch up and fake it with a matching mastic collar, or you're screwed. You got to take up the whole deal. So there's the program, guys. I think it's darn good. This is I don't like the fast drying. I'm not on a job site here, so I don't go for the fast drying polymers. I like the slow set stuff. I believe it sets up better and it's gives more durability. And we're gonna clean up for the day, and we're gonna stay off of this, and probably Sunday we'll wake up in the morning and grout her up. I want that to set real good. That's a heavy wear strip there, but I think it looks stunning between the kitchen and the floor in the den area here. And what I'll do is probably paint this wall the green like the kitchen, because I think it goes a little better looking with the tile. But that's how you create a custom tile transition between rooms. My cost was about $28 for the glass mosaic tile, about $14 for the strip material, and the rest is the mastics and things, another $10. So not a bad deal. Comes in under $60, and you know, in terms of wood floors and wood transitions, I think this just makes the house in keeping with the modern style. You know, all the stainless and everything, and it's going to look gorgeous when she's grouted up and finished. And the nice thing too is these bands on the side, besides giving a nice trim detail here, you know, they're not a trip hazard at all. It's impossible to trip on them. So we've accomplished what we wanted. We've transitioned between the two rooms, and I want to thank you for watching. Anybody that's thinking about doing custom transition strips, it's not the hardest thing in the world. The trick is get a real good base to lay that down. If you can use the backer board, the Hardy backer board, it's an even better surface. But I got the exterior grade plywood, and it's a small piece, and it has a lot of strength to it. There's no flex, and it's going to look fantastic. And remember, when you lay that mastic in, don't overdo, okay? Because you need to have, you don't want that all coming up between your towel, and then you've got no place for the grout to go. Okay, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoy the look of the custom transition strip. And comments and thumbs up are always appreciated. And thanks for watching.